also, in this structure of where we are, the thing is that here is where we get a little bit busy. It says this. What does that say there? It says the origin of the cult of what? And then I got the Jesus. Right. All right. Now, but that says the origin of what? The cult?
Yeah, the cult and
idols, right? Now, I'm going to read this. My Bible is much different from your Bible. But here it goes.
May I ask before you start, you read from your Bible, but what book out of your Bible are you reading?
The Book of Wisdom, chapter 14. The idea of making idols was the origin of fornication. A father afflicted by the untimely mourning made an image made of his child, soon to be carried off, and now pays divine honor to what yesterday was only a corpse, a dead individual. Handing on mysteries and ceremonies to his people. Time passes, the custom hardens, and is observed as law. Rulers were the ones who ordered that the statues should be worshipped. People who could not honor them in person because they lived too far away would have a portrait that was made in their distant continents. To have this image they could see of a king whom they had honored and had meaning, but such zeal to flatter the absence as if he was present today. Even people who did not know him were stimulated into spreading his cult by artist enthusiasm of this picture. For the latter, doubtless wishing to please his ruler, exerted all his skill, and it says, to surpass the reality. And the crowd, attracted by the beauty of the work and the mysteries, mistook for God someone who recently they had honored as a man. And this became a snare for life. That people, whether enslaved by misfortune or by tyranny, should have conferred the ineffable name on sticks and stones. That in itself is where that is. But we do not go there. We do not have that in our emphasis, because in Jeremiah's so-called, it says to seek the ancient, not only seek it, but demand the ancient, but you will not. The attachments to the ancient to embrace your agendas is something that you have done to establish a hidden agenda or otherwise. But it is nothing that we practice in the ancient. And also, while we're on the subject, let us continue with this other deity called Yahweh. It has vowels and placement, and we know that the Yahweh God is of a pig god. We've already done the study. And that Yahweh is not its name. Here's something else that many of our people have been misled by. And the scholar from the Hebrew Union College stated this and told them this. Yahweh is not Hebrew, it's Greek. So, we have people who are calling themselves Hebrew Israelites, and there is no collective term in any part of a Bible that says that. And I'm not attacking our brothers and sisters and the so-called Hebrew-like community. I'm not going there. I love my brothers and sisters very, very, very much. But what I'm trying to show and tell in this structure, I don't know what's going on. I must have too much on the line. That correct there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, something's going to have to fall off of here. That's going to have to fall off of here. Let's see if that'll do it. Let's see if they'll let me pull something off of here. And let me see if it'll give it to me. It's coming to us. Now, let me erase this, because I've been asked this question many times, and I don't use the Star of David. I've already explained in a latter study how the Star of David is called the Magen David, and another word for it is called the horoscope, and it deals with the 12 astrologies. So here, where I'm trying to show you from the Jewish Virtual Library. The Star of David, called the Magen David, the Shield of David, or as it's commonly known as the Star of David, the symbol most commonly associated with Judaism today. But it is actually a relatively, now hold on, now I want you to understand this. Brother DeBar did not make this happen. So please understand that a lot of this research and what we've done, I know it's going to shock many people. But this is something that you must know about. It's a new Jewish symbol. New Jewish symbol. Brother DeBar, hold on now. Let's get a cup of coffee and sit down and talk about this. Okay, let's go to Starbucks. All right. Here's the thing. So are you trying to tell me that this so-called star is new? The reason for that is it didn't belong to the Jewish folk. It's an ancient symbology that represents the 7 principal people of AYAH. That's why the indigenous of the ones calling themselves Native Americans have the 7 cube and dealing with the 7, and also call these people the blue light, the blue stone, and the stone people. The interlocked, because each one of these is a 7, representing the 7, the 7, the 7. Now y'all do me a favor. Everybody move down 10 degrees in the back row. Just 10 degrees. Move sisters up around just a little bit. There you go. Now let's get back to here. Now, this new Jewish symbol was forgotten about until the Jews had a war, and this guy named Adolf Hitler said, I'm going to put a mark on these people. And he put a mark on these people. But I'm not going to get into the Jewish war and all that other stuff, because that's all over the place. But what I want to show you is its relativity of the fact that it is of the ancient, and it has extreme mystical powers. And even the ones who practice witchcraft and the craft, they use it, and they use it where it has a dot in the middle. And this dot in the middle, where they do it, it gives them empowerment, because they invoke names of the underworld. But back to where we were, so all these things talking about King David's shield and all this other stuff, they know that this have attributed a deep theological significance to the symbol. And then you got the Kohans, the Levites, and Israel as also the menorah and the rabbi. But they're all under a new Jewish symbol and theosophical approach system.